really enjoying Tsumugi as a character. I mean, she may have gotten dropped on us last episode, but I am enjoying all her facial expressions, character antics, character personality, voice actor, and everything that has a scene with her. It's a really enjoyable episode. So if you're a big fan of Tsumugi, this episode is definitely for you, and I felt like this character development with her was really well placed. Now, from what I can see from this episode, before I get into character development and plot development, I will say one thing. This anime is evolving into a harem, love triangle, love diamond type series. Now, if you're necessarily not a fan of harems and love triangles, this anime is definitely going to probably piss off a lot of its viewership. The reason why is because now we have multiple girls coming after Raku. We got freaking Onodera, now we got Tsumugi, and then we got Chitoge, that's the main female girl that we know eventually will come after Raku. It's already a given she would. So, a lot of questions are building up. How many girls are going to add to Raku's harem? That is the big, major question I'm asking here, because now that they've already added 3, there's bound to be more that's going to be popping up eventually. Hopefully they don't, because it would kind of upset me a little bit, because they are having a lot of cast of characters being introduced to the series that they need to really focus on their backstory more and their character development. Adding in too many characters into a series can really diminish the quality of the series. It really depends on the anime. I don't know if Nisekoi can actually develop the characters in the right direction with a bunch of cast members, because we've got so many different characters that are just introduced in this entire series already, especially with side characters, that it feels like they don't have much room to add anymore. So we'll have to wait for that one. Now, the character development of this episode really focused on Tsumugi. I love her character, and I love her facial expressions. She's so fucking adorable. She makes me do So, besides that one, I'll say, I enjoy how she slowly is developing feelings for Raku this entire episode. Like, the entire situation when she didn't understand her feelings of what love was. She feels like her pulse is rising, her face is glowing red, and all that. She just can't speak properly to the one that she thinks of. So, I felt like that was funny how Chitoge says, I think you have a serious disease. You need to go check that out. So insensitive, Chitoge. That is so fucking insensitive, and I laughed pretty hard on that. It was some really cute moments in this episode. All around this episode, once again, had adorable moments. And honestly, I do enjoy it quite a bit. Now, I will say, even though the character development focused on Tsumugi, it brings to light of how Raku is as a character. We can clearly see he's not all around a bad character. He's an enjoyable, likable main male character that seems to actually be nice to all the females around him that make people want to love him. So I felt like this episode shows him in a good light. It shows that he cares for everybody, not just, you know, Onodera. He cares for, let's say, Tsumugi. Carries around when she has an actual, I guess, blister on her foot and carries her home. I felt like this was good character development along with him, so it did it in the right direction to make it to where he's just not a player character. He may be the main male character, but I don't think he's as dense as our usual main male character, so I'm kind of happy about that. But really, this episode, it kind of piques my interest with the entire plot development. For one thing, the entire section where you get to see Chitoge reading her diary about the promise she made 10 years ago. I think it was an episode back, I said pretty much maybe Chitoge is the promised girl to Raku that made the promise with him. Even though Chitoge cannot exactly remember who this person was, she reads the diary and she finds a key inside the diary. So, it kind of actually destroys the entire fact maybe she might be the promised girl of Raku. So, anybody that had theories about this most likely is wrong. But the thing that pops up in my head is, why does all these female characters have promises 10 years back? Seriously, I'm seeing a repeated pattern here. I mean, I may love this series. I'm not the best series I've ever watched, but I may love it. But I'm seeing a repeated pattern with all the main female characters and even the main males that have made promises 10 years in the past. I hope this doesn't come up to the point of where all the female characters exactly made a promise with Raku, and Raku is pretty much just the center of all these different love triangle, freaking harem development we've seen in the series so far. And if he is, that will kind of piss me off a little bit. But besides that, I enjoyed this episode. It was good. And let's get on to the talk of the animation. The animation, my lord, man, Shaft. You may be copying Bakemonogatari, but you definitely made sparkles in this entire episode. Really, the sparkles were off the fucking chart in this entire episode. The entire characters, the way they resigned him, and you just got the freaking sparkles behind him shining all over the place. I mean, the budget in this series is just unreal. I mean, really freaking crazy budget in this series. The animation is off the walls with beauty. I love the animation. Every scene, even to a useless scene, is beautiful to look at. And mainly, even if you didn't like this series, if you hated the romance, love triangles, love diamonds, whatever, you'd probably watch this series just for the vibes of Bakemonogatari if you enjoy that series, or if you love beautiful animation in an anime. So, once again, animation is just top quality. Shaft does another good episode with that. And those freaking camera angles, man. Those camera angles, I say it a lot, but those camera angles remind me so much of Bakemonogatari. The freaking head tilts, the close-up visual faces, their heads like this, the freaking just looking down, close-up eye shots, freaking just all around. The way they managed to do those visuals with the camera angles definitely remind me so much of Bakemonogatari, but in a different feeling and atmosphere. So honestly, I love this episode. Anyways, not much more to discuss. Tell me your thoughts on this, and do you think that Raku's eventually going to find out that maybe he made promises with all these other characters that are being introduced? And do you think that freaking Raku's harem, love triangle, diamond, hexagon thing can get any bigger than it already is? Tell me your thoughts. You all wonderful there, not wherever you live. Please stay safe, everybody. Chibi out.